friends, welcome to a new vlog. Welcome to the kitchen. We are in full autumnal baking mode this morning because I have just been out for the millionth time collecting apples and pears, and we have just got so much produce on the ground, tragically. As you might be able to hear every now and then, Martin is here mowing the lawns, so I have to scurry about and pick up all the apples before he can mow underneath the trees in the orchard area. So I just can't bear for them to go to waste. So I wanted to kickstart today with a little bit of cozy baking, my favourite thing to do. And I mentioned a week or so ago apple and cinnamon muffins, and you know when you hear of something or someone mentions something and then you just can't get it out of your mind? That has been me with these apple and cinnamon muffins for the last probably 2 weeks. So today is the day. I've got the butter softening on the 𝘼𝙙𝙙 and we're gonna have the most gorgeous cozy baking morning. I've got so many apples, and this is not even half of them. I've got an entire crate in the greenhouse as well. I need this year to get good at storing them. You might remember from previous years that one of the farmers in our village, he has, I think it's I've mentioned this not that long ago, he's got a 400-year-old apple press, and you're invited to take your own apples and he'll press them and turn them into juice for you. But I always find that he does that day just a little bit too late for when the apples are falling off the trees, so I need to store them. But anyway, that is a problem for another day, not right now. So I'm gonna get started by peeling quite a few apples, and I think apples and cinnamon as two flavors just go together so well. Fills the house with the most amazing cozy scent. I feel like these could be I was gonna say the C word again. I was gonna start talking about Christmas. But I do feel like there's something quite festive about cinnamon in particular. Do you know what? Before we get started, I'm going to make myself a cinnamon latte. Ooh, yes, perfect. My coffee from this morning. The dregs are cold, so let's make something delicious. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is my regular ground coffee in here, but I'm going to put a teaspoon, or half a teaspoon actually, of cinnamon in, just give it a little stir, and then temper it down. Okay, so I've got cinnamony infused double espresso in there. Now, adding in my milk. So that's, I would say, level 1 cinnamoniness. Cinnamoniness, is that a real word? Who knows, but I'm gonna make it level 2 with another half teaspoon, just, oh yes, across the top. Stir it in, and then the milk will be fabulously cinnamony as well. I always do too much at this stage, absolutely always. Next time I need to do 1/4 teaspoon on the top there. That will still be delicious. Last little bit of milk. Is there anything more cozy than a super frothy homemade cinnamon latte? Oh my goodness, delicious. I want the kitchen to just be the ultimate cozy space while I'm doing my baking this morning, and I could go and light our actual fire, but it's pretty warm in the kitchen right now with the 𝘼𝙙𝙙 and wearing a very cozy fleece. So the next best thing, I've got I think it's new, this is the firewood candle from Beauty Pie, and oh my goodness, that's such a good smell. If you've ever been to our house, and especially around Christmas time, when maybe we've had already a couple of months of the house having real fires lit in the house, and obviously we've got loads of wood in the house, lots of oak beams and things like that, this is kind of what our house smells like during the cozy months. It's got cedarwood, it's got like an oaky, smoky, just literally like a firewood smell. And then I think another note in this is moss, which gives it a freshness, so it doesn't like make you sleepy, makes you feel cozy but invigorated at the same time. I think this would be just the most amazing Christmas gift, but also just the best way to scent a room if you want to have the feeling as though you're snuggled up by an open fire doing some cozy baking. These are the matches that Charlie and I had made for our wedding. We got so many of them. Don't know why we decided to do matches. So in a matter of seconds, this is going to fill the kitchen with the most gorgeous smoky fragrance. Oh, it's such a dream candle. With Beauty Pie, they always make things so high quality. That's a really high quality mineral wax. So it's better quality than these paraffin ones you can get your hands on. I'm quite funny with the quality of the candles that I light in the house now, and I just want them to add to the cozy atmosphere. And when you first light a candle, you have to give it at least a couple of hours so that the top bit completely melts, so that you get a really even burn, otherwise it starts to tunnel down the middle. Another candle from Beauty Pie, I won't light them both at the same time, but if you're thinking of treating yourself or gifting someone a beautiful candle, then yeah, with Beauty, oh, sorry, I can smell this through the box, and while that might be like the ultimate cozy scent, this is incredible. If you love quite rich, oudy rose fragrances, this is Rose Libertine. I wonder if they do this as a perfume, because I would like to wear this as a fragrance. It actually reminds me of a very expensive Creed fragrance that I've got. Oh my goodness. Wow. If you had this lit when you've got friends coming over to the house, I guarantee every single person would be asking you what that smell is and buying this candle immediately afterwards. Rose Libertine. They're very, very minimal. Just going to fill your home with the most gorgeous fragrances. The notes in this are: fill the room with elevated, uplifting scent of rose, raspberry, saffron, and patchouli. I think it's the saffron that gives it that real richness. Like, it smells expensive. I'm not gonna lie, it smells like a really, really expensive perfume. Oh, I cannot wait to light that. I'm trying to think when we've next got friends coming over that I can fill the room with that fragrance. If you are already starting to think about Christmas gifting, then I feel like bits from Beauty Pie are just a no-brainer, because you get such incredible quality, but you're cutting out the middleman. We all know by now how Beauty Pie works, and getting the most amazing products at incredible prices. I'll leave the candles linked down below. Now, without further ado, I'm going to, do you know what? I'm gonna make this the most cozy this could possibly be. While I'm peeling my apples, I'm gonna stick, please don't hate me, but I'm gonna stick on a Christmas film. That is just the mood that I'm in this morning. And the ultimate Christmas film is, of course, The Holiday. I feel like I'm slightly channeling Amanda Woods today with my cozy cable knit. This is what she wears when she arrives at Rose Cottage. We're actually gonna go out for an exciting little drive later on today, and I'm gonna drive past the cottage in our neighbouring village that I swear is literally, in fact I think it is even called Rose Cottage. It's adorable. It's not the Rose Cottage in Honington, which I have showed you before. And by the way, oh my gosh, revealing a business plan that never happened. This would have been like the most insane thing ever. So probably the most famous, sorry, I'm in a really rambling mood this morning, probably the most famous cottage in England. I'll pop a photo on the screen here. This is called Rose Cottage. It's not the Rose Cottage from The Holiday, but a lot of people come and visit it because it's just so stereotypical, like beautiful classic English cottage. That cottage came up for sale, and we were this close, like literally this close, to putting an offer in to make it another Strawtop Cottage. Obviously it's thatched, it's in the perfect area, and it's probably the most famous cottage in England. How cool it would have been if we could have added that to our Strawtop Cottage empire, but unfortunately something else came available and we went down that route instead. All to be revealed. Oh my goodness, so many spoilers. But I'm gonna drive you past, but we're gonna drive past another cottage on our way to somewhere very exciting later on, that in my mind, that is where Amanda Woods stayed when she came on her English staycation. For me, thinking about the vibe that our Christmases are, it's very much when Amanda Woods comes to stay in a cozy English cottage rather than a sunny, very glamorous LA trip. But I wouldn't say no to a little bit of sunshine right now. I was watching Emily's stories this morning. She was walking her dog on a beach in LA, and maybe I should ask Emily if we can do an England LA swap. Like Amanda. Don't set me off, because you know what I'm like with these last minute trips. Anyway, let's get peeling these apples.
So you're a book editor? Yes, I am.
Okay, let's just put Amanda on pause for a second. So this now looks like a kind of apple puree, because I've blitzed the apple bits up in the blender, and this is going to get added to my lovely brown sugar, flour and egg and cinnamon batter to make the cakes. Okay, I've just popped out for a little drive while my apple muffins are cooling down, and this is the cottage that I was telling you about that I feel like is the real life, the holiday cottage. Isn't it just so sweet? And this village that I've just driven through, it's so autumnal, the leaves are all changing colour. It's just the most heavenly, picturesque little spot. Let's carry on. I'm actually heading to Bamford now for some sound healing, and then I've been invited by Fee to join her at Cornbury for a wild swim. The entire village is just full of the cutest little houses. Anyway, next stop, an hour of sound healing and then some cold plunging and saunering. Hello again, it's now 3 hours later. My apple cinnamon muffins have been cooling on the side while I have been out to sound healing for an hour at Bamford Club. I find sound healing, if you've never done it before, this session was crystal bowls, a giant gong, and all of the smaller instruments. It is just so relaxing. Hang on a second, Dickie wants to go out. Just go outside for tinkles. There we go, puppies outside. Yeah, so you just basically lie down, and Vikrant today was taking the session. It just takes your body to another level of relaxation, and I actually found the big gong, I'll show you a clip on the screen here, when he was doing that today, it's such a powerful noise, and you feel like you literally feel the vibrations going through your body like a wave, that it actually made me a bit emotional today. I don't know why. I had a little tear streaming down my face. It's just a very powerful thing to do. And then my lovely friend Fee, who lives at Cornbury, she invited me to go and join her for a swim and sauna session in the beautiful lakes. And I thought there was going to be a group of us, but it was just the two of us, and it was so lovely. So I feel completely invigorated, completely chilled, and yeah, what a wonderful few hours. I'm very sorry I did not capture it. Neither of those things were particularly filmable, but I am now so excited to try these. As you saw, I used the muffin tin and then the rest of the batter. Oh, I just put in my Yorkshire pudding mould with some baking paper. Oh my goodness, This is so tasty. I was a bit worried because I didn't have any regular bread flour, so I used wholemeal. But it actually works so well with this. This is such a nice... Sorry, that is our door making the weirdest noises. I feel like this is one of your 5 a day, but in a cake, and it is just perfection. I will leave the recipe down below. I've got a feeling tonight is going to be a night where I go to bed very, very early, and I love to take my makeup off and do my skincare as early on as possible on these cozy days so that I don't need to worry about it just before bed, and I can let my lovely skincare just infuse for that little bit longer. I've got a few other amazing gift ideas here from Beauty Pie. Just like the candles, I feel like little skincare sets are just such amazing gifts, and Charlie and I love to make our friends and family stockings and do box sets like this as stocking fillers, and 2 of my favourite ranges from Beauty Pie are available in these little gift sets. So I thought I would use the products inside this one. This is the Happy Faced gift set for my evening pamper. If you know anybody who has got perhaps quite sensitive skin, maybe even rosacea, skin that really needs some very calming skincare, then the Happy Face collection from Beauty Pie would be such a nice gift for them. As I mentioned with the candles, Beauty Pie works in a way that they use the very best ingredients, the most amazing like factories and beauty industry knowledge, and they wrap that all up into the most incredible products, but without that middleman inflation on the prices. So you basically get super luxurious and expert skincare, but at a really, really wonderful price. So I will leave these bits linked down below because I just think they make for such fantastic gifts. So in this little duo set, we have got the Happy Face Extreme Relief Cica Moisture Cream. I would say if you suffer from particularly dry skin or sensitive skin, perhaps you have got a ski trip coming up and you need something that's really going to improve the barrier of your skin. It's got aloe leaf extract, maybe you're going away for some winter sun. It's got oat extract, which is really, really soothing. This is just something that makes your skin instantly calm and moisturized and really help with that skin barrier, which as we move into the colder months, I think is essential. And then what I'm going to use right now, this is their No Stress Jelly Cleanser. I love the size of this. It's going to be perfect for my travel bag. And it's a cleanser that's thorough enough to remove all the day's makeup, SPF, but it's not stripping, so it's actually got the skin barrier in mind, keeping the skin hydrated while also giving you a lovely deep cleanse. I guess technically what I've just been doing, one could say, is very stressful for your skin, because I've been dunking myself, although I didn't put my head underwater, I've been dunking myself in cold water and then going into a really, really hot sauna. So I've been going cold, hot, cold, hot. I think we did maybe 5 rounds, which was a lot, but because it was just the 2 of us, we were just kind of on a bit of a mission to get the glow. And that was quite stressful for your skin. So I think my skin is gonna be very grateful for this barrier repair and relief. I'm sure some of you watching might have teenage daughters or maybe sisters that have probably tried so many skincare products and just need something that's really soothing but without spending an absolute fortune. And this could be, imagine giving someone skincare as a gift and then it's like the one thing that really sorts their skin out. I'm sure there will be many grateful recipients of this. So I'm popping on, oh that's too much, oh no. Just applying it to wet skin. I have used a face halo, but this does obviously get rid of makeup. And it's got that amazing ingredient in it called Centella asiatica, which is super, super soothing for the skin. And it's got peach in it as well, which is a really fantastic antioxidant to help the skin to repair itself. Oh, I could leave this on my face like a mask. It feels that soothing on my skin. Okay, my skin feels absolutely amazing after that cleanse. It doesn't feel tight at all. It actually feels hydrated, nourished, soothed. Incredible. Now I'm going to open up another of the Beauty Pie gift sets for my evening skincare. The Youth Bomb range is Beauty Pie's most famous anti-aging range. It is a multi-award winner, bestseller. Their Youth Bomb It's comparable to other products on the market, which will cost you like over £180, like serious skincare, mega anti-aging ingredients. There's 15 incredibly powerful ingredients within this, which just work so hard to recharge your skin and give you a youthful, hydrated glow. I would actually recommend, to get the most insane results, using this morning and night. This is a very handy little top up for travel bags. It's a very lightweight serum. Pop it in the palm of your hand and on clean skin. The clinical and customer results from this are just absolutely mind-blowing. And for Beauty Pie members, the price that you pay versus the ingredients and the kind of research in a bottle that you get from this are absolutely crazy. I've got a feeling that loads of you watching will already be huge fans of 𝑘𝙬☆𝙤, so if your friends are yet to try it, then this will be a nice way of introducing them to something that you already know is absolutely incredible for your skin, to give you the glow. If getting more of a youthful complexion is a priority for you, then this is probably the #1 product from Beauty Pie that I would recommend. And then as part of the Luminous Duo, you also get the double vitamin cream. This is really the dream combo for anyone looking... Excuse me! Mummy is talking, not to you. Anyone looking for firmer, plumper, brighter skin, this is the dream combo. Such a great way to try out these products. Within the Beauty Pie Christmas gift set, it's going to take some of this from the lid. You can of course buy these products separately, but I think it's such a good price and way to try them out together. So if wrinkles, age spots, dullness, if they are skincare concerns that you're looking to target, then this little duo is the one to try. Can just feel when you apply these products, it literally feels as though you're applying really expensive, seriously scientific, clever skincare, and yet because it's Beauty Pie, you know you've not had to spend an absolute fortune to get the very best product. And I just think for gifting, these little sets make it so accessible. So I'll leave the Beauty Pie sets linked in the description box down below, and the candles if you're looking to buy someone a fantastic gift, the gift of wonderful skin, then Beauty Pie have got you covered. So now that my skincare is done, I'm gonna see what we've got in the fridge, make some dinner, and have a very cozy evening in. Okay, Charlie is getting his hair cut, so I'm in charge of dinner tonight, which is fine. And is there anything cozier than a tray bake? I just love being able to shove everything in one tray, stick it in the 𝑘𝙬 or the oven, and it's done. And I've got this for tonight. So we basically have been getting Riverford boxes for the last goodness knows how long, and if you like the idea of HelloFresh, but maybe you want, I would say, slightly higher quality ingredients, they are organic, supporting British farmers in the UK, then Riverford, I know I've mentioned this before, but Riverford do something really similar. Sorry, I look like a little pea head, but this is just freshly cleansed. Yeah, Riverford do these delivery boxes. You can either get a box full of veg, seasonal organic veg, or you can get meal kits, basically like HelloFresh. I think we should still have a £5 off discount code, so I'll leave that link down below. It says this is only going to take 35 minutes to cook. Don't know about that. But we've got courgettes, we've got garlic, we've got broccoli, ooh, and a scattering of pumpkin seeds. I think this will be quite easy to make. So first of all, look how ginormous this box is. We've got a load of spinach, salad leaves, just like the traditional meal kits, you get some of the ingredients in these little pots. With Riverford it's always compostable plastic. Balsamic vinegar, pumpkin seeds, pesto, garlic, broccoli. So much broccoli, I'm gonna have to make another soup tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. There are 6 courgettes in here. Ah! I wish you could tell them when you don't need an ingredient. I still have courgettes in the garden, so I did not need these. Oh my gosh. Definitely gonna have to make another courgette soup tomorrow. I'm gonna have to make a broccoli and courgette soup tomorrow. Tomatoes. This is gluten and egg-free gnocchi. Interesting. Okay, this is a lot of ingredients. I'm just going to make some space and pop on a YouTube video while I do some veg chopping. My darlings, I'm going to give you a good laugh, a laugh at my own expense. Today I did not wash my hair this morning, so I thought I'm going to try a new hairstyle. I'm going to try one of these things that I always save hairstyles on Instagram, but only easy ones, because I admitted in a recent vlog I have zero talent when it comes to doing my own hair. Heatless curls, I can do that. That is as far as it goes. But I'll show you a video on the screen here. This lovely girl with hair very similar to mine in that it seems to be naturally long and straight. She did this really beautiful kind of flipped in, half up, half down, turned into a plait. And I am incapable of doing a French plait on myself, but I thought this looks like a way that I should be able to plait my own hair. It looked really, really easy. Obviously I don't have a mirror behind me when I'm doing my hair, so I just kind of did it using just the forward-facing mirror, but as I was doing it I was like, yeah, this feels about right, this feels like I'm doing the right kind of thing, and I was pretty confident. By the time I'd finished the plait, I thought, yeah, I've done a pretty good job. Well, then I took a handheld mirror and looked at the back reflection and I audibly gasped. What a bad job I'd done. So again, this is what it was meant to look like, and you guys just watched the video. I mean, it seemed pretty easy, right? Would you like to see what the back of my head looks like? Dun dun da. Yeah, I don't know what went wrong there, but I thought before I take it out I'm gonna show you guys, because we just can't all be good at all things, can we? And doing my own hair is most certainly not something that I am very good at. Anyway, I picked up some lemons and some ginger and some turmeric from the shop this morning, and I am going to make some immunity shots. I am still going with my 𝘿𝙤 elixir in the mornings. It tastes so good, and I'm going to have to whip up a new batch of that this weekend. But in Team Fashion Mumbler, we are one girl down. One of the team has succumbed to a bug that's going around, so I'm on ultra immunity patrol. So I thought we could just really quickly put together some of these very healthy, spicy immunity shots using the simplest of ingredients and just a blender. So let's go and do it. I should have known at first thing this morning that someone in the office wasn't feeling very well, because I came into the kitchen and saw this, which is basically what lives out on our kitchen worktop whenever anyone in the house is not feeling 100%. Lemon and ginger tea, you just cannot beat it. So we just basically put some slices of lemon and slice of ginger in the teapot, keep it topped up, maybe a little bit of honey, and it's just very soothing if you've got a bit of a sore throat, but also great for everybody else to help to boost the immunity and try to not get poorly. So what I'm going to do is make the lemon, ginger and apple shot. There are two kinds of shots that I sometimes make, one of which is this one, a little bit sweeter, a little bit more enjoyable, and then there's also another one which I use turmeric and black pepper as well. There's something about black pepper and turmeric together, they kind of bring out the best in each other in terms of the properties, but obviously ginger is really good for boosting your ability to not get poorly at this time of year, boosts your antioxidants and helps with inflammation in the body. So it's a really, really good thing to get as much of as possible. And the fact that the shots are a little bit spicy, I like to visualize it as kind of like detoxifying the body and just like clearing things out, spicing things up a little bit. And I actually really enjoy taking them in the morning. The apples These are technically cooking apples because that's the tree that we've got in the garden, but they do the job of adding sweetness to the drink. And honey, I always think a nice local honey, really soothing for the throat, obviously adds sweetness and has got antimicrobial benefits as well. So you're getting a load of goodness in just a tiny little shot. I did actually order some shot glasses from, as in like with lids on, from Amazon. They're probably going to arrive tomorrow, so for today we'll just put it all in one jar. I don't bother peeling the skins off my apples or my ginger. Can't be bothered, so I'm just going to chop these up really small and stick it in the blender. Okay, so we have got here a couple of knobs of ginger. You don't need to be too precise with your quantities because it's all going to get blended anyway. And I've just done 2 regular sized apples, shoving this all in the blender. And now I'm going to juice a couple of lemons, but I'm also then going to put the flesh in here as well, just to get the most out of it. Okay, so I've scraped loads of lemon flesh into here as well. You can see a bit on the side there. Some of the lemon juice. My lemons weren't that ripe, so they were quite hard to juice. Now I'm just going to add in about a tablespoon worth of honey. And I can't remember where I read it, but I read somewhere that using a metal spoon with honey does something to the benefits. So since reading that, I always use a wooden spoon. I love honey. I could just have it with everything. I could eat it by the jar load. Okay, I've given everything an initial blend and it just turns into this paste, obviously very fibrous because of not taking the skins off and things. So now that it's had the initial blitz, I'm adding in about a cup of water, scraping it down from the sides. You do need quite a powerful blender for this. And yeah, gonna blend it again, probably for about a minute with some water. Okay, now I've got a Pyrex jug and a muslin cloth and a delightful looking sludgy liquid. I'm gonna pop that in there and we're just gonna give it a really good squeeze. Okay, so we managed to get loads of liquid out, which is fabulous. I think I need a funnel for this. I did not even measure out those ingredients, but I've managed to make the exact perfect amount for this bottle with just a little bit left over for me to have a shot right now. I'm a bit nervous. I think it's going to be seriously spicy, but let's give it a go. Oh. I feel like a fire-breathing dragon. But it's nice. She says while crying. Wow, that's strong. That's like, whew. Holy moly, holy guacamole. I will not be getting ill if I take a shot of this every morning. I'm gonna make sure Charlie and my mum take a shot as well. And then, as I'm sure you will have guessed, I will not be letting the pulp in here go to waste. What I'm gonna do for now is put a healthy, good-sized teaspoon's worth into my teapot and make a nice tea. So about this much is perfect. Into the teapot, cover with recently boiled water. Not completely freshly boiled because that might get rid of some of the goodness. And we'll let that brew for a few minutes, and for the rest of it I've got one of my little ice cube mold trays and I'm going to fill this mold with the leftover pulp, and then next time I want to make a lemon ginger tea I can just pop one of these into my teapot, add some boiling water, and in a few moments we'll have an amazing tea. Okay, that actually made more than I thought. So we've got 3, 6, 9. That's pretty much 2 weeks worth of my lemon and ginger ice cube things. And ooh, I don't know if that's been brewing for long enough. If it's a bit plain, then I might add in a slice of lemon. But there we go, the ultimate easy and fairly tasty way to hopefully prevent any bugs this season. Oh yes, that tastes good. Okay, my darlings, I've just been enjoying my tea and doing a little bit of laptop time, and I'd like to ask for some advice for anyone that's watching that is either an owner of a small business, or maybe works for a small business, or works for a business where there is a lot of kind of workflow. Because I was having this chat with Leo on Friday when we were together. I confessed that I felt that one particular part of my kind of team structure that was quite unorganized because of myself was how we manage tasks. Like, how do we give each other tasks? How do we know who's up to date on what, where we are within a workflow of a project? And the way that I have been doing this so far, bearing in mind the business used to just be literally myself doing everything, and from it being a part-time thing for me to it now being a business where we have 6 proper employees and then photographers and videographers helping us with odd things as well. 6? 5. So then allocating tasks such as finishing editing a video or making amends that a brand has sent through from sponsored content. I have been putting those to-do tasks just in a note on my iPhone, which everyone in the team has access to, and it's literally just a bullet point in my iPhone notes, and I thought that was just the most primitive, basic, and probably not the best way of doing it. So I found it very funny to see that Leo was doing it that exact way as well with her team. But my question to you, because we've looked at a few different softwares and they're very expensive, I would love to know if anyone has got any ideas, any software suggestions. Scarlett, I think, mentioned Notion, and I'm just going to sit down and have a little play with that. But if you've got any tips on how as a team you manage workflows and to-do lists, then I would love your advice, because that is definitely something that I need to get on top of, especially now that we've got more employees, and just more to-do tasks that I find quite hard to stay on top of. So that's what I'm going to have a little look at now. And then I'm going to do another little kitchen escapade. I need to make a few more of my date balls. I was listening to the Wellness Scoop podcast this morning and they were, ooh, I did autumnal nails. They look very black, but it is actually, I think the colour is called Clove. It's not gel, this is the green, I think it's called Green Flash from Manicurist. I did it yesterday afternoon while Charlie was watching the golf. How boring is golf? Oh my gosh, so boring. I don't know how you can watch it. It was either paint my nails or fall asleep, so I decided to paint my nails, and I thought, seeing as it's not gel, I'll probably be redoing them in like a week. So I went very dark, and sometimes I catch sight of my nails and I'm like, whoa, whose hand is that? Because I'm so not used to doing dark nails. But yes, on the Wellness Scoop this morning, sorry I'm digressing big time, they were talking about the goodness, the benefits of consuming seeds, lots of different seeds. And my favourite way to have seeds, obviously you saw making lunch this morning, I did the most scrumptious homemade leek and potato soup. Whenever I make soup, I love to do my homemade croutons, broccoli sprouts, so good for you. Yes, I'm still doing my broccoli sprouts. That was an obsession that I think I was speaking about in probably every single video around April. Still doing it, still definitely doing it and loving it. And especially as we're now in soup season, I'm loving putting my broccoli sprouts on my soup. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure I've got a YouTube short that I will leave linked. And I do often sprinkle seeds on my soup as well, but the best way is in what I call my beauty balls. One of my first ever blog posts that I ever wrote, it was a recipe for my beauty balls. It's basically dates, loads of seeds, nuts, almond butter, peanut butter, bit of coconut oil. You can blitz up a nut and roll the balls in it, so you have like a pistachio crumb. Goji berries, if you like cranberries, you could put that in as well. Very easy to make. Oh, and you can put little bits of cacao in as well if you want that too chocolatey. You can really kind of mix and match your own recipe. but they are just the perfect little afternoon snacks. I just polished off my last date with the almond butter and the almond inside it. That's the easy, quick version of doing this, but the balls are fabulous, so I'm gonna do those next. Just one other thing to show you before I get on with my beauty balls or energy balls. I'm gonna put the bits of the lemon, which I've scraped out the flesh and juiced, into the kettle, and I'm gonna fill it with water, and I'm basically just gonna leave this steaming for like half an hour, just leaving it on the agar. Not only will that make the room smell really nice, but also it helps to clean the kettle. Before I throw away anything, whether it's a coffee peel, a banana peel, an eggshell, I always think, is there something I could do with this? Trying to throw away as little as possible. So lemon peels, you can make cleaning sprays with them, you can make like a natural disinfectant spray, you put them in ice cubes, nice refreshing lemony ice cubes, but they're also really, really good for cleaning. So this is a nice easy thing to do, and seeing as I'm going to be in the kitchen for the next hour or so, making the beauty balls, then making dinner, it'd be nice to have a little bit of a citrusy scent in the kitchen, with the bonus of a clean kettle. Okay, I've put together my lovely seed date beauty balls. We've got an entire tray load. Ended up making way more than I thought, and I've still got some left in the bottom of the blender. So I'm actually going to blend this with some kefir and have it as tomorrow morning's smoothie. Maybe I might put a cold coffee shot in there as well. I was just watching one of Molly Campsey's latest vlogs. While I was doing the rolling, you want to fully prepare, get rid of any hand jewellery, and put a vlog on while you're doing that, because it does take 20 minutes or so. And she was just explaining a quote that she'd heard on a podcast, and she was saying how she kind of thinks of this quote when she's going about her daily life, and I really, really liked it, so I thought I would share it with you. The quote was, "The way you do everything is the way you do anything." Maybe that's the other way around. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. And it reminded me of the best bit of business advice or work advice that I have ever been given, and that I now give to people. And the advice is, anything you do, do it to the best of your ability. Whether that's creating your energy balls or your lunch, or whether it's putting together a flower display to take over to someone's house, or whether it's completing a work assignment, writing an email. Anything you do, why not do it to the best of your ability? It trains you to always want to do things better, and it means you always give your best work, which obviously makes you look better in a work perspective, encourages you to engage your brain a little bit more. That's something that I find myself thinking quite a lot, especially if like I read typos. I'm just like, engage your brain, just focus. And I think that because we are all living in a world where there's so many distractions, whether it's social media or the many tabs open on our computers, I find that it's very easy to not fully engage your brain in the task that you're meant to be doing. So thinking back to that core quote, do everything to the best of your ability, or the way you do anything is the way you do everything. I don't know, I just think that's a really good quote to live by, and encourages you to do your best in all the things that you do. And it's something that I've definitely always kind of lived by, I think. Any job that I set my mind to, I try to do it really, really well. And it would be my best business advice, work advice. So there we go. That was a mega ramble. I'm gonna get these in the fridge. They're currently a little bit squidgy because of the coconut oil in particular. So they will really, really harden once they go in the fridge, and then they'll just be the perfect little bite-sized balls. I find that because they're filled with seeds and nuts and dates and that little bit of cacao, you only ever want one or two. So at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when you just need that little something to keep you going for the rest of the afternoon, a couple of these gets you going. and then you're satisfied until dinner. So definitely give these a try. You can really mix and match different ingredients, whatever your favorite nuts, seeds, dried berries, pop them all in. You could do little bits of apricot, dried fig. Have a little play around because they are truly delicious. Okay, I just have to show you my hilarious little work setup. This is where I like to come and do an hour or so of laptop time at the end of the day. I'm double screening because Chloe has done some editing on this laptop, so I have to check over a YouTube video before that goes live, make any amends on there, and then on this laptop I have got my emails open, so I'll have the YouTube video playing in the background while I tackle my inbox. I love to do this little bit of technically I'm triple multitasking because I'm also, as you can see or hear, I'm on the walking pad, so getting a few extra steps in. And at this time of day, of course, I really just want to take my laptops downstairs and sit in front of the fire, but I feel that that kind of blurs the boundaries in my head of what's work time and what's relaxing time. Our office is in the room next door, so these two rooms are kind of worky rooms. Obviously when we have guests staying, like we had Charlie's mum and dad in here over the weekend, this gets put away, the walking pad goes under the bed and it becomes a bedroom. But in the week we leave the walking pad set up and any of the girls, or Charlie, but he never does, can come and crack on with something away from the office in their own space and get a few steps in at the same time. And then it also means I'm saving downstairs and obviously our bedroom and the rest of the house for non-working spaces, because that's probably one of the main downsides of working from home, is that sometimes the boundaries are blurred between what is a restful space and what is a workspace, so it's quite hard to toggle your brain in and out of work mode. For me it's just always work mode, but yeah, taking the laptop downstairs on the sofa does blur the boundaries a little bit too much. So anyway, I'm chatting to you and digressing instead of actually cracking on with work, so I am going to get started. Make sure I'm for a nice walk, that would be absolutely glorious. But either way, Bamford, I don't think Leo is here yet, so I'm going to head in and grab us some herbal teas. The next day, and I have just been outside and found something very exciting in the garden. It is this time of year again when the walnut tree starts to drop its nuts, and I have to confess, last year my walnut collecting, storing and harvesting was not terribly successful. In fact, it was a complete unsuccess because I left them out thinking that they were going to dry out, and instead it just attracted rats and mice. So an epic fail. I think I'm going to have to store them in the house this year because I, as I was saying yesterday, hate for things to go to waste, love to forage, and the fact that we've got three walnut trees in our garden and one on the driveway to the chapel that overhangs our garden, we have a lot of walnuts and I love them. They're so tasty, so good for you. Sorry, by the way, that's probably the walnut tree getting hacked as we speak. We're having hedges and trees surgeoned. Is that the expression? The tree surgeons are here operating on the hedges and trees. And yeah, basically this time of year you want to collect the walnuts ideally from the tree, but our trees have quite a high canopy, so I tend to just get them from the ground, and you need to wait a couple of weeks for them to dry out, which is excruciating because I just want to eat them right away. In fact, I'm going to just crack these two, see what it's like inside them, and then we'll go and forage or collect a few more and leave them to dry out, and then we'll bake them with some salts. Should be really, really delicious. I've popped on this incredibly cozy jumper dress. It is just a pure kind of super soft material cable knit pattern in this amazing mushroomy colour, which I absolutely love. And I also decided to paint on top of my nails again this morning, although I didn't do it that long ago and I've now got them a bit fluffy from the jumper. I'm sure that will come off. But yeah, I loved the colour that I had them done before, or that I did them rather. But this is the mocha colour. Still from Manicurist, still the green flash range. I'm just... I was just in the mood to change them up again this morning. It's actually a very long dress. I've got it on just with my slippers. So it's really, really cozy. It feels kind of like you're still wearing pajamas, which for me is perfection. And yesterday, so I think the last thing I showed you was making my date balls. I had some of the nutty mixture left in the Thermomix after I'd made the balls, so I made myself a smoothie last night and popped it in here to have this morning. But first I'm going to take my lemon and ginger shot, and then the smoothie can be my nice treat to wash it down with. Cheers. Ooh. Oh, that is so good. Okay, I definitely need to order a proper nutcracker, but our kitchen scissors have got a little nutcracker section in the middle. Don't know how safe this feels. Oh my gosh. Okay, it definitely should not have been that hard. But wow, we can see we've got a little young walnut in here. If I was to leave it to dry a little bit longer, then it would be darker and more solid like the ones that we're used to seeing, but this is still very much edible. They are so gnarly. I'm pretty sure they're called wet walnuts at this stage. Let's give it a try. That actually tastes really good. Roasted with a little bit of salt, that'll be amazing. So I just want to quickly show you a couple of home bits that I got from H&M. My order arrived this morning. First of all, from H&M Home, I ordered this really beautiful little fluted pie dish. I was thinking for apple crumbles, apple and pear crumbles, things like that, but also just for serving things. When we serve roast carrots or peas and leeks for a Sunday roast, I thought just with the green trim, that was really, really nice. And I think it is dishwasher friendly too. And then we have already lit the fire a couple of times in the living room, but sometimes it's just not quite chilly enough for a fire, but you need something to snuggle up in. And H&M blankets are always super, super soft. And because they're pretty affordable, I'm not too fussy if we get muddy dog paws on it. Obviously I try not to, but you know how it is when your children are very much part of the family and allowed on all the furniture. So yeah, this is really, really thick and soft, not itchy in the slightest, and I liked the kind of cinnamony and white colours to it. So those are a couple of home bits, and I did get some really, really cozy clothing pieces too, which I'll show you in a second. But first of all, while it's really, really sunny, let's go out and grab a few more walnuts. I'll show you how they look straight from the tree. Maybe you're out in a park and you can grab some. There are two kinds of walnuts. There's English walnuts and black walnuts. I found out the hard way, both kinds will really, really stain your skin. Any of you that have been watching the YouTube channel for 3 years or so, you might remember it was probably our second or third autumn living in this house was when I first really noticed the walnuts. I think my eyes just weren't really open to these things in the first year or so, and I decided bare hands to pull them out of their flesh and clean them. And then I wondered why my hands and my nails were dark, dark brown for weeks and weeks afterwards. It literally looked like I dipped my hands in some kind of henna dye or something, and it took weeks and weeks of scrubbing and using using lemons and white vinegar and everything to try and get the stains away. So from now on, double glove situation whenever you are touching walnuts. Trust me, I definitely found out the hard way, so be careful if you are foraging them. So with that in mind, I'm gonna get some gloves from the greenhouse and then let's see how many we can pick. So down here above the cut flower garden, this is one of the walnut trees, and yeah, there's no chance I'll be able to pick them straight from the tree. So we'll have a little look, and it's a good idea. See, one like that. Oh, actually no, that's a good one. Sometimes I kind of roll it out of its shell using my shoes. That's a good way of doing it. And I'm not even going to touch it without my gloves on. Well, that's not a bad loot at all for 5 minutes of picking. Some of them are really quite tiny. Some of them are a pretty good size, but I don't know if you remember last year, they were probably twice the size of this. I don't know if they just get bigger the longer that they're on the tree for, in which case we've probably got a few more weeks until they're as... I mean, they were almost the size of these apples last year, but there we go. I'm going to give these a little rinse, and then we'll leave them to dry in the greenhouse for a week or so. So I've just given them a quick rinse, and I'm going to leave them here in the greenhouse for probably a couple of weeks. Maybe next weekend I will try one and just see if it's dried out much compared to the one that we tried earlier. But that's a really good harvest. Yeah, and that's only day one, so I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot of walnut harvesting over the next couple of weeks. Let me know if you guys have ever harvested and dried your own walnuts before, and if you've got any tips, I would love to hear them. This geranium plant in the greenhouse has been such a triumph this year. It's flowered the whole second half of summer since we got it, and I think because I've been regularly deadheading it, it just seems like it's constantly in flower. These things, plants like geraniums, just really benefit from that little bit of care, watering not too regularly, but whenever you see any little dried heads, just picking them away to encourage new blooms. Beautiful. And it smells amazing. Fellow dog owners, when you walk into a room and just see your doggies looking cute like this, does it make you feel bad for every second of the day that you're not kissing them?
Oh, but they're guard dogs.
I know, but look, we should be kissing them every split second of the day.
Goofy face, look at that goofy face.
Daddy, don't call me goofy. Although I am my mother's child, so I probably am a bit goofy.
Such a lovely dog.
Oh, look at Dexy looking so handsome.
Best one.
He's the best one in the world. Daddy, don't disturb me. You are so good looking. It's not normal for a doggy.
All this focus on renewable energy.
Sausage dog tails.
I just think we should harness the power of sausage dog tails.
Yeah, but don't, because that could end up like a factory farm of sausages.
No, they're organic, sort of free range.
Free range
So basically,
sausages.
someone come up with a device that just
You attach to their
attaches to the tail
buttocks.
and it generates electricity. What do we think?
Daddy, no. We don't like that idea.
Couldn't afford me.
Couldn't afford me. My hourly rate is exceptionally high. Okay, I promise I am going to leave the house very, very soon and head out. Our first port of call, maybe Chipping Norton, maybe we'll swing by the Bull Cafe where the Cotswold guy used to be, to get some caffeine. And then I'm going to beeline for Bampton, which is a really sweet village, and it's also... Actually, maybe I'll just tell you when we get there. I'll tell you when we get there, but you'll definitely recognise the church in particular. But before we go, as I said, I have got a few new H&M bits that arrived this morning, and they are the ultimate cozy October pieces for being just super comfortable at home or out and about. So starting off with the dress, you've seen me wearing this morning. I just love the colour of it. I love the length, I love the simplicity, and I have to say with the jumper dress, I love that you just don't need to think about anything. This is the outfit with slippers, or if you like to wear maybe those little ugg shoes out and about, then I think it's perfect for that. I love the fact that the sleeves are so wide as well. It just makes it feel extra comfy cozy. And I think they had this in a cream colour as well, but I thought practicality wise, this colour would be the most versatile. Okay, as soon as I saw this little two-piece on the website, I was so excited for it to arrive, especially the trousers. It's basically a little matching combo, top knit and trousers in a white cable knit. I know I literally just said about the mocha mushroom colour being a lot more practical, and it definitely is, but that's what washing machines are invented for. It's not cashmere, so it's not gonna, or actually I don't think it's got natural fibres in it, so it's probably not gonna be one that I need to worry about shrinking in the wash. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's 53% cotton, so you've still got that breathability, but it's gonna wash really well, which is amazing. It's just a classic white cable knit on the top. Oh, how nice is this? I think that's from the ivy outside. Yeah, really classic. You can wear this for layering, you know, when you just want to have something that you pop on. People are wearing cable knits over the top of their barbers at the moment. That's a trend. But you could definitely use this for layering. But it's the trousers. It's wide leg cable knit trousers with an elasticated waistband. You know, when you get home from work and you've been wearing jeans or tights or something, or school, whatever. I don't think many of you are school age. I think most of you are, well, I know that I have more 65 plus than 24 and below age demographic wise, so very few of you will be anywhere near school. More likely your children are in school, but that's a mega digression. I was just thinking about when I got home from school, I would be so excited to take my tights off after wearing them all day and just put something loose fitting on. I love wearing loose fitting things at home, and the wide leg trousers are just perfection. I know I'm going to wear this so much. This is possibly my favourite thing that I've got from H&M ever. Bold statement, but I really think it is. I just absolutely love this set. I really hope it's still in stock, and I really hope they bring it out in other colours, in like a camely tan. I will snap that up right away. All of these things, as always, you know the drill. They'll be linked in the description box down below if you would like to shop anything. This was something else that I was really excited to arrive. It is a ridiculously over-the-top jumper, something very jazzy about the fringing detail on the sleeves, and it's really soft. Sometimes I think you just want something huge and oversized. It's quite a statement for something that's so cozy. The sleeves are actually quite short, which I really like, because sometimes jumpers like this, the sleeves can be really long and then they just end up getting in the way, getting very messy. This is the kind of thing that I feel really dresses up a jeans outfit. I pulled these out of my wardrobe. They are from Holland Cooper, and they are so comfortable. I feel like I've been spending so long trying to find the perfect pair of jeans, and I had them all along. These Holland Cooper ones, which I'm pretty sure they bring back year after year, they are perfectly high-waisted. They've got a nice amount of elasticity in them, and they're just kind of straight up and straight down, which I think is probably the most flattering silhouette. They're not cropped, and half of me is tempted to shorten them by an inch, but actually I think just with a nice pair of shoes, with my Vivo barefoot coconut knit trainers, I think this is a really nice outfit. So I might keep this on for today, but I'll show you just the last few pieces and then pop this back on. Okay, I did show you this in a video before, but I'm just going to quickly summarize the bits that I'm keeping from that last order, because overall it was actually a bit of an epic fail. But this knit, I decided, it's just so versatile, it's so timeless. Love how high neck it is. It's very oversized, feels very relaxed, and just if you're going for a little bit of a staycation, or you're just heading to a pub for a Sunday roast, just throwing on something like this I think is perfect. And I love the brown colours in it and the big kind of diamond design. So keeping this one, and unsurprisingly the cream roll neck is another keeper. It's actually quite a long top, so you could wear this with leggings or something, but also really nice. It just tucked into a pair of trousers. I've just got makeup on it, trying to get it on, so be more careful than I have been. And just like the first cream jumper, I love the fact that it's crop sleeves. It's just so much more practical when you're doing bits and bobs from home, but the fact that it's knitted means that you just feel cozy. Like, your wrists are not a piece of your body that you tend to feel chilly. So I'm fine with cropped sleeves at this time of year. I like it both tucked and untucked. I think it's a little bit smarter when it's tucked in, and nice to just create a little bit more of a silhouette. But yeah, I need to get a little bit of vanish on that. That's so annoying. I should have done my shower cap trick, but I love the material, love the sleeve length, and I love a big chunky roll neck neckline. Gosh, I look tired today, don't I? I think sometimes when I tried a new foundation this morning, and it's quite high coverage compared to what I'm used to, and sometimes I find that the higher the coverage, the more tired it makes you look. Don't know why that is. Another one that you've seen before, but it's back in stock now, Hallelujah, the peplum top. I love brown and white, or brown and cream as a combo. The material on this is what makes it so incredible, because it's really, really soft and stretchy, so it's just really easy and comfortable to wear. I love the little flick out of the peplum, so if you want to style up a pair of high-waisted jeans or leggings or whatever, really, I think it's a really beautiful silhouette, and for how comfortable it is, it really looks very, very smart as well. So this is another favourite. And last but not least, I'm sure you won't be surprised to see that I kept the gilet. Just love a good gilet, just like Charlie. And this one is in a very practical Borg brown colour. The belt is also H&M, looks like Gucci, but it's far more affordable. But yeah, I think for layering underneath a waxed jacket and just generally adding a cozy layer to an autumn outfit, the gilet is perfect. And I don't have any others in this borgy kind of brown material, so it's a great addition to the wardrobe. So there we go, that's what's new in my wardrobe from H&M. I'm gonna just quickly heat up some of the leek and potato soup from yesterday for my lunch, and then finally we will hit the road. This is how crazy this weather is. It is October and I'm wearing a t-shirt. It might be a knitted t-shirt, but it's warm today. I will never complain about warm days, but it's kind of funny when all the leaves around me that I'm looking at are golden and yet it's toasty. But I've just arrived to, it's called the Old Coal Yard in 𝑐𝑜𝑡𝑠wold, and if you're visiting Chipping Norton or Soho Farmhouse, it's literally 5 minutes down the road. And this is where the Cotswold guy used to have a cafe. They now only have a cafe in Temple Guyting, and the Bull, as in our favourite pub in Charlbury, they have taken over the cafe here. It's now, I think it's called the Coal Yard Cafe, and the little area is called the Old Coal Yard, so it's all in these old farm buildings. I'm just going to pop in and grab a coffee. I'm sure the food here is really good. I think Charlie and I might pop here at the weekend and try their brunch menu, so we'll see what it's like. But for now, I think just a coffee or a matcha should keep me going for the afternoon. Okay, my darlings, got my coffee and I got a cinnamon bun as well. I couldn't resist, it was the last one and it was just calling my name. So it's very minimal in there at the moment. Obviously the Cotswold guy has gone and they've taken away their cute little farm shop bits at the front and the little doggy bathtub that was outside. And this is a very, very new setup, so it does feel quite new in that there's still space for them to move into. They've got a fantastic big coffee machine, a big 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗, and they had loads of amazing cakes. I did grab the last cinnamon bun, which I'm going to try in a second. And then they just had a simple chalkboard menu. I think they're doing soups, breakfast baps, granolas, things like that. I really hope that this is just kind of phase one and that they're going to bring more and more of an offering here, because I think this area, it's just crying out for amazing cafes with really lovely food as well. So I'm going to try the cinnamon bun. Okay, I admit I've already tried a little bite, but I have to say the bun to icing ratio is exceptional, and it's a very doughy cinnamon bun. It feels very, very hearty. Perfect to keep me going on our little road trip. So now this was my halfway point. I'm doing another 25 or so minutes in the car, and we're driving, can't remember if I mentioned earlier, but driving up to Bampton. And I've wanted to have a little posh around this village for some time now. Charlie and I did go a couple of years ago, but I'd earmarked going there today, and then funnily enough, when we were watching Downton Abbey last night, obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but a lot of the scenes which are in the village of, is it the village of Downton or the village of Grantham? No, it's Downton, isn't it? The village is Downton. A lot of the village scenes are filmed in Bampton, here in the Cotswolds. If you ever go to the Double Red Duke, then that's very close to Bampton, 𝘿𝙤𝙀, that kind of area. 𝘿𝙤𝙀, I'm pretty sure, is where Kate Moss lives. So the scene we watched last night was Matthew and Mary's wedding, and that church is the Bampton Village Church. And it's quite an iconic little corner, beautiful village setting, and so lovely at this time of year. Actually, Matthew and Mary's wedding in Downton is in early autumn, so it feels like we're going at the perfect time. So a really lovely village to explore. Let's get going. Okay, just parked up on a little side street in Bampton. I've already spotted the lane where the church is, and I think Isabel Crawley's house is right next to the church if I remember correctly, but we'll go and have a little wander. My coffee is still very, very hot, so nice to have a wander around the village for 20 minutes or so while I enjoy my coffee. And then I've got some appointments in Oxford later on, so we'll just take a mooch around until it's time to head over to Oxford. Funnily, just drove through a village called Crawley, and I wonder if Julian Fellowes just really liked this area, maybe spent some time in Bampton and Crawley. Obviously a lot of the characters, their surname is Crawley, so it all feels very, I don't know, very Downton themed around here. I think last time Charlie and I came, we obviously were already fans of Downton, but we probably hadn't watched it in like a year or so. But we are currently watching it again for probably the 4th time round, reignited after seeing the premiere of the final film, what was that, a month or so ago. So yeah, it's gonna feel even more fresh in my memory now, seeing all these places, and it is just a really beautiful village to have a walk around. So let's go and explore. I'm feeling like a major tourist here with my camera. I'm sure the local residents are very used to it. They even sell a Downton Abbey map in the library here. But the season that we've just finished is the season where Lavinia sadly dies from the Spanish flu. So Matthew and Mary obviously would have come to her grave here in the churchyard. When Matthew said that their relationship was doomed, what did he say, cursed, and they could never be together. So this is the library, literally right next door to the church, and this was, I believe, the set for the hospital during the World Wars in the TV series. Well, there we go, a lovely little stroll around the village. It is such a beautiful village, very, very historical, lots of gorgeous little winding streets. I don't want to point the camera at too many houses because obviously people live there, but there was a little glimpse of the side of Isabel Crawley's house, which is probably the rectory of the church actually, and I could see a couple of other really stunning houses over the brick walls, but I don't want to be too much of a snooper. I did pop into the library where they have the little map. They call it the Downton Mile. You can do a full loop around the village, and I think that one of the houses that we strolled by is also the Grantham Arms, so the pub that they film in the series. And I overheard the librarian chatting to another couple saying that when they filmed the scene that I was mentioning when Matthew and Mary are at Lavinia's grave, obviously it's not a real grave, it's a polystyrene faux grave, and they popped it over the top of another grave, but the librarian was saying that when they came to film another scene they put it on top of the wrong grave, so they actually had to refilm loads of scenes because they put it in the wrong place, which is very, very silly. But anyway, as I mentioned, I'm gonna head and do my bits and bobs in Oxford this afternoon, and I will see you later when we get home.